Tadi adik-adik luar biasa, bahasa Inggrisnya mantap banget. Jadi kami sangat bangga dengan adik-adik sekalian. Ya, dalam lomba seperti ini melihat bahwa ternyata Depok tuh banyak orang-orang pintar, dari mulai anak kecil sampai orang-orang gede.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, good morning everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning to the judges and to the audience. My name is Kayfa Ismail Sastra and I am from SMA Negeri 5, Kota Depok, kelas 3. I am currently still in the second grade of senior high school. And I also want to say that I am really grateful that I am one of the students who are qualified to the final. The theme of this speech is critical thinking. And before we start our speech, we must know first, what does critical thinking mean? Critical thinking is to be skeptical. Critical thinking is an ability to analyze and observe a fact or a situation. It will also affect someone's decision-making and problem-solving skills. For example, if we got an information from the internet, we compare it to another reliable and factual source. That is an example of analyzing. While the example that I can give for observing is when someone say that Islam is a terrorist. I know, people without the ability of critical thinking will just believe that fact and they didn't think too much about it. They just, it was delivered like that and I just believe it. I don't want to know too much about it. One of the examples that I can give is the freedom fighters in Palestine, Hamas. Some of the Western medias framed them as the bad guys, framed them as a terrorist organization who murdered civilians, destroyed buildings, and so on. But actually, if we look a little bit deeper, they're just trying to regain their land. There's nothing wrong with that. So we know who is the aggressor here. The aggressor here is Israel. Now, because we already know what does critical thinking mean, now I'm going to explain what are the steps of critical thinking. First, we can start by identifying the problem. And after you identify the problem, you can start to collect the data, opinion, and argument. After you collect the data, you can start to analyze and evaluate the data that has been collected. And after you evaluate the data, you can start to identify the data that has assumption in it. And then you can start to determine the significant things. After you determine the significant things, the last thing you want to do is to make a decision to have a conclusion. That is the step of critical thinking. Now, we may ask to ourselves, why is critical thinking important to students? Because, well, critical thinking helps us to be more selective to the information that we got from the internet. It really helps us to filter those information. Because not all of the information that we saw from any social media platform are true. And a question may pop again in our head. What happens if we apply critical thinking in our life? First thing, it will enhances our decision making, and then it will improve our problem solving, fostering our creativity, help us to identify information, and help us to have a better evaluation. That is the benefits of critical thinking. And then you may ask again, what happens if we take everything for granted? What happens if we didn't think too much about the question. We didn't think too much about the information that we got from the internet. We just believe it. We didn't ask what is the detail and anything like that. We just believe it. Well, we could easily spread false information to our friends, classmates, or even family members, and then we could be a part of, we can be a part of something that we don't want to be a part of. We could be sharing a hatred information towards some group of people. Now, how important is critical thinking in today's era? It is really important because of today's era of technology made it so easy for us to spread something. Doesn't matter if it's true or not, it's just very easy to spread something. Therefore, it is really important for us to be selective about the information that we got. About the information that we got. And before I end my speech, I would like to give a conclusion and suggestion. My conclusion is critical thinking is really needed in today's era because not only it helps us to be selective about the information that we got, but it also build our confidence in reasoning, identify misinformation, and so on. For my suggestion is to help those who are still in the age of developing their critical thinking ability, like me, by providing answer. We must stop the habit of saying, "Oh, you're still too young, don't ask too much about things." Because that is exactly the thing that is slowing down their critical thinking ability. I hope that we can spread this awareness so that it'll help those who are still in the age of development. Once again, thank you so much to the judges and the audience who have been listening to my speech. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.